And so we're talking. We're live. You see, it's not red anymore.
Yep.
We can talk.
So good morning.
We can say whatever we want because no one's listening yet. You see that 0 up there?
Oh yeah.
That live tells us how long we've been broadcasting.
Wow.
Hello, 2 people watching. We're about to start the show. If you know us, you know we typically start with our real things, and then we start the show because we just got here and we're getting set up. So y'all have a good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. And remember, men go their own way.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it 2. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, sun pounding on your head. Beer, take care of that. Beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it 2. Pop that top, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it 2. Pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it 2. Beer's bitching, abounding up. Incentive when that morning comes. Beer for breakfast. Amen.
Please welcome Marine violinist of the White House, Master Gunnery Sergeant Peter Wilson.
Beer for Breakfast Morning Show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Wake up, y'all, it's 7:10. Toolman Tim and Obscure on again. Fixing up trucks, sharing some laughs, stories and jokes from the backwoods past. We're on chasing Bigfoot through the pines, UFOs and government signs. Thinks they're after his old moonshine. Tim just rolls his eyes, says, "Oh, Ron, you'll be fine." Beer for breakfast, start your day. Tools and tales, the old school way. Tim's got the smarts, Ron's got the plans. Even hunting the swamp cabbage man. Fix it, fish it, laugh till you cry. It's a beer for breakfast morning show, oh my. Oh! Tim's the guy with a helping hand, building it better, he's your man. While Ron's out there in the swampy haze, saying the drones might strike any day. From conspiracy news to fixing cars, sharing advice that takes you far. One's the legend, the other's wild. Together they're your morning style. Beer for breakfast, start your day. Tools and tales, the old school way. Tim's got the smarts, Ron's got the plans. Even hunting the swamp cabbage man. Fix it, fish it, laugh till you cry. It's a beer for breakfast morning show, oh my. Oh! So grab yourself a beer, don't be late. With Tim and Ron, it's gonna be great. Beer for breakfast, the morning's bright. Let's kick it off, everything's alright. Full disclosure, Tim is not now and has never been in any way attached to the government. That's why Ron trusts him, even though he doesn't like grits. Coming to you alive and well from the Obscure Destination Studios in Lake Placid, Florida. As long as the feds didn't come get Ron with a drone strike last night.
Okay, we're here. Here we go. We're going to start the show. It is now 7:13. If you know our whole schedule, you get to skip almost all of the intro.
It's not like the TV thing where I can hit skip intro.
Right, right. Yeah, because it's live. So here we are. We're doing our thing out here in the
like Saturday night. Coming to you live.
and it doesn't look very foggy yet today.
No, it's like 10 miles of visibility.
You can actually see outside.
It's only along the coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sarasota, that area.
I didn't catch much of the news last night.
You didn't miss much.
No, I didn't think that I did.
It's Valentine's Day. Yay.
Yay! Valentine's Day.
I gave my wife a kiss and I looked at her and I said, "Happy Valentine's Day." She goes, "Oh, thanks." And I said, "That's all you get." I turned around and left. I handed her a paint stick. I said, "Oh, you have a paint stick. I'll give you a paintbrush to go with it and I'll give you something to do."
That'd be
He goes, "No."
Yeah, yeah, we don't. We can put the squirrels up if you'd rather, but I don't. Sometimes I just like to watch something other than eating me out couch at home.
We got this new big ass screen for the computer. My God, it's great to be able to read the things on the side and everything.
Everything, yeah, you can see everything.
We went from a screen that had a picture about the size of my cell phone and little tiny print beside it to see our sidebars. And I couldn't read a damn thing. I never even knew half of the stuff was on the screen until it's big now.
Yeah, you can. That's why you'd always see me lean forward. I'm like, what? Because I'm trying to look for that number right there.
And you couldn't read what to click because it was so small.
Yeah. And I would always miss their in the chat. I would miss the chat.
Yeah, you do by braille more because you can't see it.
Yeah, no. But this one, I thought when I was showing it to Tony last night, because it took me about 6 minutes to set it up.
Oh my!
Then it was nothing. And then I turned it off, and then I had to reset it all back up, and I'm like, I don't even remember how I did it. Then I finally figured it out again, and then one computer screen started confusing me with the other computer screen. So now I'm over here playing with 2 computer screens, and so that's why I covered that one up.
That's distraction.
Yeah, because that literally screws me up because I'm looking at 2 different things at once. And I'm like, whoa, now.
Yeah, your brain doesn't split down the
Yeah,
middle.
and I can't see good enough on any one of them anyway. So that's not really good. Trying to find the best place for the mic. This is a new setup that we got here. So anyway, what do you figure that's probably close to 30 inches wide, that screen?
Yeah, I'd say it's a 30, 32.
32. That's what I always thought. But yeah, 32.
It looks a lot bigger now that we're sitting closer to
It
it.
really does, doesn't it?
Because when I was in the house, I'm like, that's like a RV TV, man. What are you doing with that? So now he's got like an 80 feet one.
Yeah. That thing was scary too, man. And we watched a lot of those murder shows.
Oh, yeah. Live and impersonal.
Oh man, you know, I'm a big true crime guy. I used to be real bad about it, but
Never see me on there.
yeah. I have seen people I knew there though.
I'm not allowed on New York property.
We were watching them one time when my Aunt Patty showed up on there. She used to be the head of major crimes in the Marion County Sheriff's Department.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, look at that.
I know her.
Wow, look at that. And then
I saw a guy I worked for. He murdered his wife in New York.
Cool.
I saw it was like a whole documentary about him.
And that's why it's
Calvin Harris from Owego, New York.
That's why it's now MGTOW, Valentine's Day, Beer Breakfast style. I don't really know how the whole MGTOW thing started. I just thought it was funny, and I just made fun of it.
Yeah, you asked me if I knew that it was just letters out.
Yeah.
And I was like, no idea.
Yeah, it's
They go their own way, right?
yeah, men go their own way. It's some weird shit. I don't know. It could be some homo shit. I don't know.
Cult.
No, it's not a cult. I think
We can make it a cult.
I think it's just a bunch of guys that can't get laid. That's what I think it is. We call those incels, but I think it's just a bunch of guys that can't get laid, and so they decide to go hate women. So, but I just put MGTOW on everything just because I think it's funny.
We'll just call them the Bears.
No, at least the Bears would screw themselves.
Yeah. See
There's
see where that excavator's sitting right now?
Yep.
That's my goddamn driveway. I didn't have a driveway for a week and a half, and now I don't even have all of it because they tore the corner off it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, Tony's picked out the grass, and it looks like she's talked to Grandma.
Yeah.
And it looks like, because Tony said, look, I'm going to go get this. And she goes, where do I order it from? Tony's like, I don't know. I'm just letting you know, and I'm tired of this. Not look. That's how Tony does things. He's like, I'm tired of this shit now.
Well, she's got the pull with her.
Yeah.
If either one of us tried it, probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I might, because she kind of likes me.
Yeah, she does not like me.
Yeah, she doesn't like my wife.
She's so funny because when I'm here, she'll say, like, I was in there cooking breakfast one morning, and she decides to come over, and she comes in, and she always has a treat for Jethro. She gives him a treat.
She's a big animal person.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me tell you.
What's she got, about 4 dogs?
I think they all ran away out of self-defense. But
Self-preservation, run.
yeah, she loves dogs. She loves people to think that she loves animals. Is what she loves.
She worked for a long time out at the Humane Society.
She was probably the one that put them to sleep.
That would not surprise me. Say, come here, puppy.
She's a nurse. You never know. I do not. Everyone says, "Oh, nurses are the greatest people in the world." You just never fucking knew one.
They're unhappy. All they deal with people that don't feel good, and they're bitchy and whiny.
I didn't ask him to apply for that job.
It's like, you might as well have married her if you want to live with
Anyway,
bitchy and whiny.
she came in that morning, and I'm over there making breakfast for Tony. I had stuff to do back here, and she goes, "Well, isn't someone friendly?" And I'm over here. And I said, "Are we going to pretend like we like each other today then?" And she goes, "I like you." I said, "Oh, because I don't you."
No point in lying about it.
It's clear this shit up.
You're
right
willing to
now.
hurt her feelings.
But I'm like, but you don't have any idea what it's like to. If I look at you and say good morning, have the decency to say good morning. She would just walk away and throw her hand up like this.
Yeah, like yeah, I hear you.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck you, But I'm telling you, I've never seen a harder working woman. than her, so I give her credit for that.
She's definitely always on the move, even at her ripe old age of 200.
Well, she's up there, boy. She's got to be what, 86?
Probably. Well, here's a good Friday morning to us.
Already started.
Yeah, well, you had your big can.
Yeah, I got a couple of them yesterday, and I was out here putting this TV together, and I'm telling you, I had to go through 2 of them just to get this TV set up and out here.
You know, as good as you are at all this computer crap, that stuff frustrates you quick, doesn't it?
Everything
Like the hookups.
frustrates me quick. That's my problem. Is see, the military shot my nerves,
See, you should have my happy pills.
and yeah, I probably should, but it shot my nerves, and so I get frustrated. Like Tony could come out here right now and say the car's leaking oil, and it would ruin my day. Be like, God, son of a blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we put mechanic in a can yesterday. Let's see if it works.
If it does,
Works on roadkill.
if it does work, I could have bought that shit 2 years ago and saved myself about $800.
Yeah, he's never changed the oil. He just keeps adding.
But that was water because I made Tony back up last night. I said,
That's good.
there's no way that's oil dripping.
I mean, that thing was steady. Like if your faucet dripping, I thinking he's going to be out of oil by the time he gets to Winn-Dixie, 6 miles away. Thank God it was water. But what it was doing was dripping into the spot of oil.
Yeah.
When I put my finger on it,
My whole driveway is in oil.
yeah, well, it will never rust.
or probably crack now.
Concrete don't rust that well.
Well, the rebar in there.
Probably not in our driveways.
No? Oh, not in mine.
I didn't see them having to cut any when they knocked the corner of the driveway off.
They had problems getting it out though, man.
Did they? Well, maybe there is.
There was a lot of rebar in our stuff. Oh yeah, there was a lot because I wanted it, but he was all bent up. I was going to go in there and get bolt cutters and cut it, but it was all just.
You know how hard it is? You couldn't cut that with a bolt
I
cutter.
cut it with bolt cutters. That's how I used
Maybe
to.
tiny ones.
That's 3/4 inch.
You really?
Yeah, that's how I did my canes.
Yeah, you must have better bolt cutter than me. Mine are new. I've only used them a couple times.
I don't know.
I tried to cut them padlock off the shed one time because Dean lost the key. That some bitch barely cracked the chrome plating on it. So
Really?
I went out, grabbed an extension cord, took my diamond tip side grinder, cut that some bitch right in half like butter.
When I still had it was it's dirty. When you're buying stuff off of Facebook Marketplace, be very careful. My angle grinder, as I call it, the wheel of death.
Yes, it is.
It was getting to the point to where it wouldn't tighten anymore, and you had to literally just push down on it and cram it to come it on and put it on. So I said, "Hey, I bet I can get $10 for this thing."
Oh yeah.
Tony said, "There's no way, it's broken." I said, "Yeah, no. He'll ask me to plug it in. I'll plug it in, turn it on, and once he's done, I don't give a shit."
Right. Yeah, who's gonna bring it back over $10?
Hey man, look, I saw everything
It
on board
worked. That's all I
as
can
is, homeboy. You can see that it was old when I sold it to you.
You could see it worked. Whether you broke it after you got it, I don't know.
And the beauty of the whole thing was only paid $15 for it. It was at Walmart with
Mm-hmm.
high tech or some shit like that.
Yeah, quality name brands brought to you by Walmart.
Quality name brand. Made in China, sold in Filipino, and
Well, that's what we always call that tool outlet place down there in Sebring. We call it China,
Harbor Freight.
We call it China Freight.
Harbor Freight. But if you need shit quick or something like that, they're pretty good.
Yeah, you know, if it's something you're probably not going to use very often, like the side grinder, I hardly use it, but I gotta have one.
Yeah.
So a China Freight $15 one would be just fine if this one got broken or stolen or lost. I had one when I was doing satellites because we did a lot of the big dishes, and you have to put them on cold rolled steel pipes.
Yeah.
They're about 6 inches round and they're about a good 1/4 inch thick. And I bought a new cheapy one, thinking I wasn't going to use it very often. It was the dead of winter,
Yeah.
so it got wet. I'd set it in the snow at least twice.
Go for it.
And I went to start cutting with it, and it literally had flames coming out. It was on fire. I threw it in a dumpster, which I happened to be close to, with it still flaming, caught the dumpster on fire. Then I had to put the damn dumpster out.
Well, it's easy to just let that burn, and that way you've been saving the plant.
Yeah. I just went into my Chinese restaurant mode. I go, where's the wind? Where's the wind? Where's the wind? No. I guess there's a cold front just to the north of us that's pushing a drier air in. Right? Well, it's not supposed to get colder until Monday. The high is going to be maybe 72, 70, something like that. But that's when it'll finally, you'll feel a little colder. Let's see. Speaking of weather, let's see what we got today. Partly cloudy,
That's what I wanted right here. Okay.
69 degrees in Lake Placid. Binghamton, New York, partly cloudy, 21 degrees. April, partly cloudy, 36 degrees. They're getting warmed right up. Fargo, still minus 18.
Really?
Yeah, they're freezing their asses off up there. I bet Tomato has love and live in Wisconsin right now.
No, I bet I bet he's
Didn't you say
hating
the
life.
Canadian guy said they got like 3 feet of snow or something?
I don't know if that was him.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, I think what he said was what did he say, dude? I think he said
He said it was like 20
it was
below.
it was negative 37 because we looked all that up.
That was his weather.
Yeah.
Or what do they call that? Metric. That was the metric.
Yeah, it's negative 37 Celsius, which still was like negative 20 something when we looked it up.
cross-referenced it. It came up like 27. And I'm like,
And we did it.
and it's like, that's too close together. I was thinking 15, 18.
Yeah,
I still think that the Google thing did it wrong,
I don't because 0 is freezing.
right?
0 Fahrenheit is 32 degrees.
Right.
0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's a 32 degrees differentiation. So maybe, I don't know, or I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's why I thought it would have been closer to like 18 at our temperature
Yeah.
scale, because they're starting at 0 for 32 is what we call 32.
Yeah.
So they're like 30 degrees different. It's like time zones. You know, basically it works the same way.
Well, you never know, man.
And that screws me up sometimes
Me
too.
too.
The funny thing is you can be at a certain spot in the country and take one step to the left and you'll change the time zone.
Yeah. Well,
It's like, does your phone automatically click?
that's kind of what it's like living in Fort Benning, and they tell you when you go to
I like that Trump Day one.
yeah,
we
that
had.
one was funny. When you go to the I can't think of what I'm trying to say, man.
Fort Benning.
Fort Benning. When you go to the when you get there, they say, listen, on this side of the base, it's 6 o'clock. On that side of the base, it's 7 o'clock.
If you're over there, you're late.
Your job, yeah, your job is to be figured out where who's doing what and doing what. Because if they say you're late, you can't argue that. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh, I'm
Expect it, man,
I'm
and
2 feet to the
especially,
left. Damn it.
I'm going to tell you, if there's anything that I can assure you of, is you do not want to not be in the Army and be on an Army base and having them teach you things, because
They'll screw you up.
no, they hate you already because because the Marines think they're the best things in the world, So
And the Navy guys think they're the best.
Well,
and the
well-
Army guys think they're the toughest.
but that's what happens is but the Army's there going, yeah, well, you know what, we're not training you, jarhead. Good point. You're not coming to Camp Lejeune to learn how to jump out of airplanes. You know what I mean?
Good point,
That's kind of, I was like, you got me. I mean, you win.
right? Take a pass on
I
that.
love
guess
the,
I'm right.
I love the whole, I don't know, I can't think of what it's called, but I love the inter-ranking fighting among the military. But then all of a sudden, you talk shit to a Navy guy, and there's an Army guy sitting there, and you're not and you're a civilian, your ass is getting whipped.
The
Both-
two of them suddenly like each other.
Both of them are best friends right now. But here's the thing.
Everybody has to have a common enemy.
Here's the thing. You got to understand, military people typically like to fight. That's what the fuck they join for. Well, you got some to join for college, but
Yeah, but that's what they instill in you is fight, defend, defend.
and most of the time you went in there because you want to kill. You want to kill. You'll have to understand that joke. That joke is from a song
From Alice's Restaurant.
from Alice's Restaurant. Arlo Guthrie sings it, and he was trying to get into the army, and they wanted to know if he was qualified. And he said, "Yeah, he wants to kill, eat dead, burnt bodies, and
Yeah.
kill babies,
My
women's
grandson
daddies."
is named after Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah, you told me that.
His name is, believe it or not, his name is Arlo Frankenstein Rodriguez.
You got some weird families,
That's a hell of a grouping of names there, isn't it?
isn't it? Though I don't know how he gets Rodriguez from a daddy named Martin, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. That was the other grandson.
oh, okay.
Jody's daughter,
Oh, okay.
Jessica. She
Okay.
has a boy and a girl.
See, that explains a whole lot.
Yeah, I
Right
didn't
there.
mention that there was another side.
Yeah, you should have.
The wife's side, that grandson.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. any.
I was, you know, a father a lot of years by the time I met Jody, and her daughter had a baby. Well, for our honeymoon, we were going to go on a cruise. It was all scheduled and prepaid and everything. And I said, and her daughter had just had the baby. And I says, you know, we're never going to be able to go to California and see this baby. I says, why don't we cancel the cruise, take that money, and fly to California?
Because Tim had something to do for the Moose Lodge there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that wasn't. that time.
Okay. I was just trying to be a dick. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we went twice.
I was just kind of being a smart ass.
That would have been a nice work.
But at least you know I listened to what you talk about though.
They could have got the free airfare out of that one.
Yeah, and he could have got his PayPal credit card stolen off of that one instead.
Right. A little per diem on there.
Yeah, that's just happiness. Like anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought I would fuck with you for a minute, or screw with you for a minute.
But that's what we did. And I'm holding the baby. They said they were going to go to the store for something. And they says, would you watch the baby? And I'm like, sure. Well, the kid was tired, and I was kind of tired because I was still adjusting to the time change.
Yeah.
So I laid down on the couch and put the baby on my chest, and I had my arms around him. We both fell asleep. When they came home, there we are,
Oh,
laying on the couch, sleeping together. They got pictures of me, and they were posting that bullshit all over Facebook, you know.
This is not one of my proudest moments. All right, so I was
Is this a short list?
yeah, I was home on leave, and we were trying to set up a party. This big party we were going to have. A bunch of my friends from the Navy base, a bunch of my Jarhead friends. We were all going to go. We were going to go to Mom and Dad's house, have the big party there. But I'm trying to schedule everything. Now, this is way before. This is 93, I guess. This is way before computers and all that shit. So I'm trying to do this on my landline phone. And, of course, I'm drinking beer. And I'm doing my thing. But I'm babysitting. And he's my kid, so I'm not babysitting my own kid. I mean, I'm doing my job as a dad and just watching it.
Right.
Well, apparently I wasn't. Because I'm over here talking to her. I'm like, okay, well, here's how you get to Dad's house. This is where you go. This is what you got to bring. You got to make sure he's going to take your keys from you. The whole deal. You know?
Get to the gate, blow the horn.
Yeah. And don't fucking touch nothing that ain't yours. So this lady comes and she
No
goes,
weapons.
this lady that lived behind us, nice looking blonde lady, married to a army guy, great son. Their son was, I think he ended up being works for NASA now.
Oh, no shit.
Really good, honest, straight up, amazing family. I just thought it was so funny because she was like, should have been a redhead, white, but she dyed her hair blonde, and he was black like Car, and their son was almost like a high yellow. He was just weird looking. You see him walking around. But they were really great people. And
Like, which one doesn't belong in this picture?
yeah, and she says, I know you're military, and I don't want to get you in any trouble, but I think I have something of yours. And I said, what's that? And she goes, this. And I said, yeah, it's my son. Where'd you find him? She said, on Magnolia Avenue. He said something about going to his grandma's house.
Oh, jeez.
who lives in Spar, which is 35 miles away.
He was ready to hike it.
But he was going the right way. She said, I was proud of him because he was going the right way. I'm like, thank you for not calling the cops on me. God. But we were up there doing it. So that's when I decided that day I no longer would consume adult beverages while I was responsible for a child. Because that scared the living shit out of me. Because you know what?
Yeah, you lost.
She said, I'm not going to tell your wife about this. So it's all, I said, oh no, fuck you. I don't trust you.
I'll tell her myself.
As a matter of fact, as soon as you walk out of here, I'm on the phone with her going, guess what? I'm sorry, but
Guess what I did.
and are you see, because his mama would have killed me. And then she would have told her big brothers, and they could have whooped me, and because they were all Army and Marines too.
Oh boy,
and they had longer in service. I was still a grunt, rookie.
Newbies.
Yeah, I was still a boot. They called us. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God. So I had to tell her straight up, because if she found it out from somebody else, that's the last thing you want to happen.
Sometimes the best policy is just come straight forward with it and take your leg.
Rip that Band-Aid off, and I'll just take I'll take her not wanting to talk to me for 3 days, which was really great for me.
I know. How can you hate that? Right?
I'm not going to talk to you all weekend.
Oh,
no
you
shit.
liar.
Now, what do I have to do to get that privilege again?
Yeah, really. How bad do I? Give me the minor stroke that'll get me there.
If Tony doesn't talk to me, I freak out. I gotta get freaked out.
I was upset with my wife once, and we didn't talk, I think, for a week. She tried to, but I just looked at her and said, nothing to say.
That was my mom and dad. But
I was being a dick then.
I think about the only person truly that I've ever actually loved in my life that actually gave more shit about than me was probably my kid and Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was going to think you would have said your mom.
No, I love mom, but
she was cooking for Cocoa Puffs.
No, I love my mom was a trip. No, my mom was.
There's a different kind of love too.
Yeah.
You love your mother and your father because of who they are, and you love your wife because you chose her. That's a different. It falls into a different.
I don't know. I love Tony because Tony just most of the times he's funny. Sometimes he's too serious, but a lot of times Tony's just
like
funny.
when she yells at
us. I
used
used to be funny. I used to have this. You'll not believe this, but I used to be funny, and everybody used to come to my house to hang around with me. They just even when I was a kid, they just like, you're so fun. The girl that's my cousin that. But I was sick one day when we were just still teenagers, and she told the guy at the record store, I remember Camelot Records, she goes, I was so sick, man. I was so sick. And I'm still just making everybody in there laugh. And she tells the guy, she goes, this is why I love him. You have no idea he's on death's door right now. but see, the fucking military would ruin you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't.
It'll change your personality.
It'll do things, man.
When I was young, all my buddies' girlfriends and stuff always used to think that I was so funny, and more than one occasion they'd said, you should be a comedian because everything that comes out of your mouth makes people laugh. I says, mostly because I'm so full of shit.
Well, but see, I had a friend named Marcia that I would talk to all the time, and I'm telling you, that girl I bet you she bought $5,000 worth of canes from us just so she could just give them to people.
Wow.
She worked for the VA. She volunteered for the VA.
Uh-huh.
And she would meet guys and she would say, don't get these cheap ass VA canes. Here, I got one for you. So you give her one of mine.
Oh, shit.
They were quite happy with that.
Hell of an upgrade.
And
I love mine.
She said, I love mine too. She said,
I want to learn to spin it around like a drumstick. They're kind of not weighted for it.
I think because I used a pewter handle on it.
Yeah,
I think it's too heavy. I think you'll end up popping yourself in the head with it.
It's like learning to use a butterfly knife, man.
Or nunchucks, man. I tell you, I've split my nuts in half with nunchucks so many times.
Yeah, that's an acquired skill.
I tell you, my mom would say, "No, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I tried them once and I bonked myself right in the side of the head, and I go, "That's enough of that."
I started playing with nunchucks when I was probably about 10, and then and I was making them out of everything from broomsticks to anything I could get. And then my dad brought me home a pair of practice ones. They were foam.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So I go wild with them, and they were great. They hurt your nuts just as bad as the other ones I'm here to tell you. Because I'm over here swinging around and I'm getting really good. I'm going fast. I'm like, oh man, I got it, and I've got it. I'm one-handed. I can switch hands. I can pull them around. I can do it. Then bam, and I hit my nuts at one time. And I'm like, Dad, it don't work. Actually, I'm like, Dad, it don't work.
Because he's got that little tear coming down the corner of his cheek.
And that's the worst thing about getting kicked in the nuts. At first, you're like, oh, okay, everything's fine. It's not fine. It's that delayed nut reaction.
You know, just thinking about getting hit makes my balls ache.
That's why that balls to the wall, that song "Balls to the Wall" always gives me, because you hear me crushing shit.
Yeah, it's like crushing a beer can. It's like,
oh, come on, that's somebody's nuts. You're trying to exploit a big bunch of homosexuals.
Like when I watch an action movie and I see the two people fighting and the guy just got these big army boots and he just blanks him right in the freaking bells. It's like, it just makes my face cringe. I'm like, oh God, that'll leave a mark.
My dad always said, when you go out to party and you think there's going to be trouble, wear 2 pairs of underwear and make sure that they're very tight.
Yeah, it's like having a jockstrap.
He said, pull your nuts up and they'll stay up. And then when he kicks in the middle, in the legs, between the legs, he gets nothing but your ass or your taint, you know. He said, but if you let them little fellas drag down there, son, you'll know.
You let them swing, they're open seasons.
Most people say, and my dad taught me how to hunt and fish. My dad taught me how to shift gears in the truck. My dad taught me where to put bodies.
And how to protect your balls.
How to protect your balls. And the many uses of lime and lye.
Lye is in the chemical, not the physical aspect of life.
Yeah.
Which also fills right in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I learned that too.
You don't fess up unless they caught you red-handed.
And even then,
then get a good lawyer.
That's why it's so fun listening to Sean, because no matter what he says in every show, he goes, and whatever you do, don't ever talk to the cops. And I'm like,
that's self-incriminating.
You shouldn't have to tell anybody over 6 not to talk to the cops.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because they're not there to help you. They're not there to help you. I don't give a shit.
If they're questioning you about anything.
You got one of those for me?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I do. If they're questioning you about anything, they've already assumed you're guilty, or they wouldn't be talking to you.
That's right. And their job doesn't. They don't care whether.
And they don't want to weed you out. They want to put you in because they're looking for suspects.
They need the arrest to get the promotion. It's not their job to convict you. So now
they want to nail you.
Now that they've arrested you, so now they've got to. I've arrested him for 16 felonies. Even though if you're only convicted of 1 felony, you were still arrested for those 16.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to go away.
No. So he gets his what do you call it? His promotions, and now it's up to the state's attorney. And if he likes that cop, you're going to fucking prison, homie.
Yeah. Might as well get used to wearing jumpsuits.
I have loved sitting and watching court trials. I've always loved it. I'd go if I had free time on and there was something
go there live.
Yeah, I'd just sit there in the gallery and just watch them. It's amazing how
I'd laugh too often. They'd throw me out.
It's amazing how stupid these people act in real life. They're like, when you go talk to them, and you know the guy that's going on trial, for example, and you've talked to him, and you go, this guy's going to get his ass handed to him because he's so stupid.
Yeah.
Then the judge talks to him, and he's a fucking scholar. Well, hello, Your Honor. And then what I'll be, whoa. 3 days ago, I had to ask your cousin what you were saying to me. Now you're talking like you went to Harvard. What the fuck is going on?
I guess because the threat of prison makes you smarter.
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is. It's the dumber you act, the dumber people let you be.
Right.
And the
hey, look at our show.
That no one actually at this point is watching. That's because it's Friday. Fridays suck.
Oh, there's one.
Hello, one. So you can see it now. You know.
Yeah, I never knew that was even on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm always when I get up there and look. I'm like, what the hell? And
I always wonder what you're looking at. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm looking at that, and I always like to know how long we've been going.
Yeah, it tells you we've been on for 38 minutes and 47 seconds.
And 48, 49. I told Tony. Tony said, "Are you going to do a show today?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to do it. I mean, don't take none of our time. I said we do it. At least do it, and then say screw it."
I like the fact that it's in the morning where you really don't feel like getting up and getting after something.
Yeah. Well, I told her, I said, I'm going to surprise Tim. That's why everything's moved.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to surprise Tim because I'm going to have him to have to do the show, and I'm going to have the camera on me over here pressure washing, and Tim's going to be saying, and what Ron's doing now is pressure washing with the silver tip that does.
And I'll be making funny faces over your back. Like, look at him go. He's like a spider monkey.
Did you ever see that My Name is Earl TV show?
Yeah.
That was some funny shit. If you understood what was going on that show, if you actually could just let go of the bullshit and watch what was going on that show, that was funny as shit.
Yep. That was some good shit.
That was some quality comedy right there, man. That was.
I still like the Man Show. That was
I did too. Well, I like Adam Carolla anyway.
Yeah, they made a good team, kind of like you and me.
Well, except neither one of us are
millions.
yeah, and neither one of us are gonna sell our dick to corporate media and become a woman. This same guy that was over here completely demoralized any woman that he could come to now does a national TV night show and talks about how anybody that says bad things about women is a misogynist pig. And I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel, do you not remember that show you did with Adam Carolla?
That's calling the kettle black, right?
That's called I Sold Out to the Paycheck.
Right. Yeah, that just shows a lack of character. If all your character is built on is how much money it'll make you, then you're not a real person.
Well, you're a real person. You're just a real dickhead.
In sports news today, the Daytona 500 is on Sunday, America's greatest race. It starts actual racing if you're interested at 2:30. If you want to watch 5 hours of bullshit, you can watch it on Fox at 11:30.
Trump's gonna be there.
And Trump is supposed to be there. I didn't get a definite, he hasn't called me and said, I will be there, Tim, save me a seat. But rumor has it he's going to be there. And let's see. Oh, here's another useless bit of information. Today in history, in 2005, YouTube was launched. That was 20 years ago for you people that don't want to do the math. And it was originally designed to be a dating site service. It was called Tune In and Hook Up. That didn't fly, so they went to doing short videos.
Well, you got to also understand, Google didn't own them then either.
No, Google bought them out for like over $1 billion 2 years after they launched.
Because this channel started
2007. Google bought them out. It was over $1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion with a B.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
Now it would probably cost you about $160 billion just to even talk to them.
Okay.
I started this channel on I think March 16th in 2006. It could have been March 10th. I don't remember, but it was in March.
You were the third guy that applied for this, to be honest.
Well, I have another channel that's older than this one, but that was just set up to talk to families when we were in Afghanistan.
Military,
That's the only reason that this channel was set up. But what happened was, me and this guy set up. We were in the same unit, and we set up a YouTube channel. So, like at 6 o'clock at night, he could post a YouTube video of what we did that day and post some footage and stuff.
Yeah,
that
like
we were allowed to
keep in touch with the family.
And then I would post my stuff, and then it got to the point to where his people started asking a bunch of questions that we're not allowed to answer. And then he wanted to answer them, and I said, okay, I'm pulling chalks. But I wouldn't give up my password because it's still my channel.
Right.
So I just pulled chalks and said, I'm not going to screw my career up and because you don't know how to shut your cum catcher.
Oh, my God, it's funny you should say that. I saw that on a movie yesterday.
Cum catcher?
Yeah, the guy said something about this. He told this girl to shut her cum catcher. I was like... My friend Mark that lives in Georgia, he used to always tell his girlfriend this one line, and she hated it. He said, "Shut your pie hole." That used to piss her off to no end.
We always, I don't know.
Her name was Cindy. She was a nice girl, very proper and pretty.
I knew a girl named Cindy who was proper and pretty, and every time that her husband came home tipsy, 10 minutes late,
he turned into the devil.
No, she called the cops and said he hit her.
Oh my God!
Every time.
That's the devil.
It got so bad that she would call the cops and say, he hit me again. And the cops would go, okay.
He was late.
Because she would go back and then she would tell the state's attorney I had to drop charges. And the state's attorney doesn't like to drop charges on domestic violence.
Oh, yeah. They'll take the case over, and even if you
take
drop
it from
the
you.
charges.
Yeah.
So you turn somebody in just on a whim, you damn well better plan on it going somewhere, because
Well,
You don't always have the say in when it stops.
she ended up doing a year and a half. Well, I think 6 months in county jail
For
and
false reporting.
yeah, and a year on probation.
Well, that'll teach
misdemeanor.
her. That'll teach her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because every time that she would just get mad at him, and this guy worked, man. This wasn't some bum. This guy worked. He was a drywall guy.
Yeah.
And he's out there. I'm not talking about Eddie Wayne. I'm talking about my other friend. I've got a bunch of drywall friends, but this guy would go work every day.
Oh, that's pretty bird.
Yeah, he did Blue Jay. He worked hard, man. And drywall work is hard. I don't give a fuck who you are. Drywall work is hard.
I like doing it though. I like the finish work mostly.
Yeah, but when you're starting to put shit over your head, and when you walk into a whole house, it's just a shell.
Yeah.
And your job is to drywall it.
I have a lift now.
Huh?
I have a lift to do the ceilings.
Oh, you do have one?
Yeah.
Wow. That's how I learned how to walk on stilts.
I couldn't walk on.
My uncle
stilts,
taught me.
but
Not
I
now
had
you
to.
couldn't. You probably could earlier. Once you do it like 2 times, it's like being on roller skates. Once you learn it, bang, it's easy.
Huh.
I could probably still do it.
I've seen guys do it, but I never could.
That's why the Uncle
always
Sam's
get
at the
mad.
parades always look drunk and like they don't know what they're doing because they hired the local drywall guy. Get on them stilts, boys. Like, look it. All right.
Oh, those 8-footers? Yeah, I'm on it.
Get up there. It don't matter.
It don't bend in the middle like your knee, but you can work it.
The only difference is just making sure you don't fall, because if you fall off the 4-foot ones, it doesn't hurt that bad. If you fall off the 8-foot ones, you're gonna hurt. So
Yeah, you fall off an 8-foot ladder, it's easy to kill yourself.
easy. It's
A lot of people have done it.
People have died slipping off of 1 inch of dumb air in the bathtub. So when they slip on the bathtub.
That's why I had to quit using the bathtub. After my stroke, I have no balance. I can't feel my feet well. I'd step out of the bathtub, not realize my foot wasn't planted solid. Next thing you know, I'm laying on the floor unconscious. And of course, the only time that ever happens is when you're the only one home.
That wasn't lately though.
That was about a
Not
year and a
since
half
I've been
ago.
here. I was here then.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd given a shit about you earlier.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't know each other
No.
for a long time.
Yeah, because I'm not a social.
It's just high in the driveway.
I'm not a social butterfly. Every once in a while, I'd see Tim sitting out front, and I hate sitting out front because I don't like people.
I just like to be able to see what's going by.
And see, I don't want to see.
Because I'm sitting behind the pillar, so they don't see me.
Yeah, but they can see me because I sit right there in front of the door.
Yeah, I tuck behind that pillar so that the door walkway is open. So if she comes in and out, which she frequently does,
Yeah.
I'm not obstructing the walkway.
Well,
I'm just polite and considerate that way.
yeah, I'm not. But every once in a while, I'd go out there. If I knew you, I'd look out the door and I'd say, "Oh, Tim's out there," so I'd grab a beer or something and go out there and sit and talk to you.
Yeah.
But it was
That's how your
that.
dog got to meet me.
No, he got to meet you the first day we were here. I thought you were going to adopt him without my approval or yours.
I thought he was adopting me.
That's what I meant. Yeah, he was like,
Yeah, Ron says, well, he doesn't like a lot of people. He probably won't come over and let you pet him now. I said, yeah, dog
well, I was
walked right
laying down
over.
on the
I petted him twice. He laid down beside my feet, and you had a hell of a time calling him back.
and I know he was deaf already then, but he wasn't that deaf. But he's like, I'm not getting up. I'm hurting. I'm old. I'm an old man.
I didn't even give him a treat.
I know. Well, Marvin is retarded for doing that.
Now to get my cat to come off the patio at night when I'm ready to go in, I sometimes can just tell her, come on, come see mommy. And she'll come like almost in the door, and then she'll just sit there and look at you. And then my wife always has to knuckle under and reach for those cat treats in the box that they shake up on the commercial. And
Yeah.
that cat knows when that drawer opens, there's treats coming. She'll shoot past me. She'll take me out at the knees to get past me.
I'm telling you, Olive, our fat cat, Olive would no bullshit. If she knew I was on the grill, and I've always had a porch. I've always had a porch pretty much at least this size, and this is a big ass porch.
It's a good size porch.
And the only reason I ever built those porches was says Olive, because Olive was 24 years old when she died. That's your child, you know. So if we ever moved anywhere, I built a big old porch and screened it in so she could have.
Never outdoor
Yeah, because
activities.
because I can't let her out. I don't believe in outside cats unless they're my wild ones. I don't.
Yeah.
If you love your cat, don't let it go outside. That's
The white one loves me lately, man. He's been hanging out next to the patio and rolling in the sand.
he's definitely a he.
Oh yes, he's got a set like a
He's got
freaking
a-
bull moose.
We were watching this matter of fact, this squirrel video. If you keep watching in a minute, there they are. You'll see his nuts hanging down.
That boy's well hung.
He's the
I'm a
daddy
little-
of all these squirrels out here.
I'm a little jealous of him, in fact.
Shit.
If he was dragging a 6-inch wanger behind him, man, I'd really be
Well, he's
pissed.
only probably 6 inches long. I'm still in dispute with our chainsaws being 6 inches.
Yeah, I held it up and I go, that can't be right.
No way, that's got to be at least like 8, 9, 10, 12,
Oh.
15 inches.
That's a foot and a half long.
Because I know what 6 inches is.
Yeah, 6 inches.
Full
is the-
disclosure, Ron just held up a 2.5-inch lighter. I know what 6 inches
The
is.
size of my lighter is 6 inches,
It's
which
not.
if I put it in my pocket, matches up to my unit perfectly.
My cousin.
Same distance around too.
I'm not thick. I'm just wide. The
It ain't 2 feet long, but it's a foot and a half around.
hey
It's a
man,
beer can.
they call me the tuna can. My cousin, when we were probably about 10 years old, 15 years old. Now my uncle Richard is daddy, her daddy.
hmm
He's kind of crazy, and that's all of the whole family.
Well, gee, that describes 3/4 of your family. Huh? Kind of
Well,
crazy.
okay. Well, he would go. He was mean. But the rest of my family wasn't mean. He was mean.
Not your daddy.
Oh no, nobody was mean to my dad. But they fought though. He's the one I told you would always fight with my dad.
Oh yeah,
He would
like
come up.
physically or
Oh
verbally?
no, they would fight like fucking grown up men.
Knock down, drag them out.
Like you know how like when you're fighting your cousin when you're 8,
Yeah.
they did that when they were 46.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was not
Full on hands.
on man shit. Got tire iron. Go. And the two women would just sit back.
And say, oh, there we go again.
Mary and Mom would be like, you want to get a beer? Mom was like, I got some whiskey here. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I got my whiskey in my tackle box.
It's been 6 months. They have to do this every 6 months. Anyway,
Kids got to be kids.
I called Wade. I said, hey, boy, come over here. And he looked at me dead in my face. And we could not have been more than 15, maybe 10, 15 years old. He said, what'd you say? I said, come over here, boy. And he said, 32 pounds of meat and enough hair to weave a Navajo blanket, and you're going to call me a boy?
Your boy here, you slapped my ass.
And I said-
to his mama.
I said, I don't know what that means. So I walked home. I went back to the house and I said, Mama, that's what Wade just said. And Mama said, you don't know what that means, honey? And I said, no. She said, that means he's got a tiny penis and his hair hasn't come out yet because in his mind he thinks he's got a huge dick and he's full of hair.
He's overcompensating.
All right, that's why you should never buy big tires for your truck, honey.
That's right.
You're overcompensating.
So you went right out and bought 44s.
Hey, look, but that was our thing. We all had 40 because we live. You can't.
If you're gonna be a redneck, you gotta have big tires.
My
and a
dad
lift kit.
tried to get me to put to take tractor tires, and he said we could change the hubs out from the tractor
right.
and make them fit. And he said, no, you're gonna have to, do a
Little body work.
you're gonna have to do a Finnegan job on the Freiburger truck with the saws off, but.
Oh, that made it cry.
but
That was a
that's it.
pristine square body.
But he's like, he goes, what you're spending for those groundhogs? I've already got these tractor tires and they're already bigger. We've got the welding shop right out back. We can make these hubs work and you'll look way cooler. And so I said, no. Wade said, sure. Put them on my truck.
Did
All
you?
right. Oh, the Wade did. Like this. No, when you're driving down the truck, you bounce it up and down.
Yeah, if you've ever driven a tractor down a paved road, you know it is not a smooth ride.
You're not going with the reason that tractors
can't-
only do
You can't drink a beer while you're going down a road.
the only reason tractors do 6 miles an hour is because that's the only way you can drive that son of a bitch.
It'll shake up your bed if you go faster than that.
It was so funny, but I would watch Wade going down the road. And it makes a very funny sound when you swirl those tires too.
Yeah.
It's a different
It's
different
like
pitch. Yeah. No, it's like it's more of a it's like a it's a different kind of rubber that they use, I guess, because they're agriculture tires.
Yeah, it's a softer rubber.
Yeah,
so
but it makes a
it
totally
grips.
different sound. Yeah, but it was so funny, but it worked. But but if you drove behind that trailer or that behind Wade's truck when he had the tires on, it went like this. The tires.
Oh yeah, because they're
They
not
could-
meant to be rubber
Yeah.
tires.
Yeah, and not only that, him and Dad are the ones that welded those hubs on there.
One of them was sober.
That had to be Dad because it sure as hell wasn't Wade.
That's what I meant.
But my dad used to have my friends come over, and they would be talking about their trucks and all that. And my dad would say, "Well, go do me a burnout," and if only one of their tires would burn out,
Yeah, one-legged burn, no fun.
Dad would say, "No, come here, bring that truck over here," and they'd jack it up. Dad pulled a pumpkin out of there, and he'd say, "What's what I could do with this weld rod?" Because now it'll spin both of their tires out there. I don't know what the fuck he did.
Yeah, you just weld the spider gears together. They do that on roadkill all the time.
I thought that, but I literally watched Dad do it. He pulled that thing out, just zip.
Yeah.
But he also said it's not going to last long. If you hit it hard, it's going to just snap it. So,
Oh yeah, you tear the rear end up in
Yeah.
a year if you're out there beating it. It always cracks me up on that roadkill. They get a car. No, they buy a car sight unseen over the internet a lot of times. The first thing they do is fire it up and say, "Yeah, it sounds like a 7-cylinder." Wonder if it does burnouts. Let's find out.
Yeah, right. Did you check the oil? Nope.
Nope, no need for that. When it blows, we'll know it was low.
I had a guy come over to me one time, and this is when vehicles were still real.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hit my gas. I think I'm missing." I'm like, "All right." And I'm like, something's not right, man. So I said, "Let's pull the plugs." So he starts ripping off fucking spark plug wires. I'm like, "Easy, player."
You got to put them back where they came from.
This doesn't work like that. So I finally get the wires straight, get the firing order right.
1A 3 4 6 5 7 2.
Right. So well, it depends on what you're driving.
That's 90% of the cars. Fords are one off,
Yeah.
and they're backwards. On a Chevy, the one is always on right front as you're looking at it,
There's never been anything
and
good
on
about a Chevy.
Fords, it's on the other side.
So I go in there and I pull his plugs, right? And I hold them up and I say, "You see these gaps, dude?
Multiple.
These gaps look like the mountains, you know? Like this is like a mountain ridge tip. I mean, it literally looked like this, you know? It's like, I'm like, you realize these gaps, you know?
It's supposed to be the same.
I'm like, hold on. In my keychain, there's a filler gauge. Could you know, it tells you to do it.
Yeah.
I said, if they're too long, you'll bust your piston.
Right, and they'll burn a hole in it for
Yeah,
sure.
damn sure do that. And he's like, "Well, I don't know. I just bought them and put them in there because it said it was for my truck." I'm like, "You are a fucking idiot."
You got to be smarter in what you're working on.
Oh, shit.
You know, they always say anybody can tear an engine apart. It takes a mechanic to put it back together.
Well, my dad told us one time when we were little kids. He said, "I need you guys to go out there and pull up." No, it wasn't my dad. I'm sorry. It was Wade's dad, Uncle Richard, the crazy one. He said, "I want you boys to go out there and take that." And I think it was either the 390 or the 351 Windsor. And there's a big difference between the Windsor and the Cleveland.
Yep. It's the heads.
One's Canadian made.
That
Ooh,
too.
that shocked you, didn't it? You were like,
I
"Holy
didn't
shit.
think you know that.
Oh my God, he knew that."
Yeah, you foreign car bastard, you.
He said, "I want y'all to take the heads off of it and everything." I'm out there with a fucking pipe wrench and all this shit. He comes out there and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm
What
like,
kind
"You
of
said,"
tool is that?
I mean, he's like, "What are you doing?" You didn't say, you said take it apart. We didn't know you were going to put it back together.
Yeah, take it
We
apart.
thought you wanted it for scrap.
Hot wrench. It's like, dude, you can't cut the spark plugs off with a torch. Oh, yes, you can. Watch.
I'll tell you, I have found, being a Ford guy all my life until I bought this piece of Jap crap. Being a Ford guy all my life, I have found that the Canadian-made motors were stronger. It seemed to me. It just seemed to me that I don't know because they were using American steel, so it shouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a point there.
It does seem like it was stronger. I don't know.
They seem to be probably a little tighter on the tolerances or something. I don't know. Well, they're using metric system. We're over here going about
That's where all of our fucking 10 millimeters are.
It's about a finger, about a knuckle from the end. That's about an inch.
Okay, just take a paper towel and put it in there, and that 10 millimeter will fit a half inch. Don't worry about it. There's 7/16. It'll work. Don't worry about it.
13 millimeters, a half inch.
Is it?
Yeah.
So 10 would be 7/16.
Yeah.
Well, 10 with a paper towel in it.
Yeah.
7/16. Or some toothpaste. That'll work sometimes too.
Oh yeah, a little soap.
I've done sandpaper.
You ever drive a pilot bearing out of a flywheel with bread?
No.
If you don't have the tool to pull the pilot bearing, because
Right.
it's a pressed-in bearing in the
Right.
center of the flywheel, taking stuff, regular old sandwich bread in there, as fast, as tight as you can pack it, and then take a punch that's approximately just big enough to fit there, and you smack it with a hammer, and the bread creates a back pressure and pushes it right out. Just
No
as slick
shit.
as shit.
No shit.
It'll come out of there easier than using the right tool.
Wow.
You can stuff soap in there, but bread's the easiest because then you got something to snack on when you're done.
Well, yeah, it definitely get the pork and beans.
That's right.
If you've not ever had a pork and bean sandwich, you are not living.
Well, they're not country.
You're not even American if you haven't had a pork and bean sandwich and a Vienna sausage when you go fishing.
Oh, yeah. Shit, that's a fisherman's.
Yeah,
that's
I was
if
jealous
you're
of
out of
football
bait-
yesterday.
if you're out of bait, you
Use
put a
the
little
Vienna
Vienna sausage on the end, man.
Yeah, I was kind of jealous of our boy next door over there yesterday.
Oh, he was just loving life right
I'm
there.
going to tell you, either you, him, or Tina was smoking some skunk yesterday.
Oh, it's Tina. You think?
Too close. Tina's too far away.
That's true.
It was, I mean, right on. Either that or you ran over a skunk on the way home last night.
I had a dream that you said there was a skunk in our house.
Oh, I hope not. Don't even joke that way.
It's like yesterday I had the dream somebody stole the Mustang because I
Yeah.
left the key fob in it.
You got to stop eating onions before going to bed.
We don't even have an onion in our house. My wife doesn't like onions and she won't buy them for me. Although she did because I'm going to make some Timmy taters.
We almost always got onions if you need.
I'm going to make Timmy taters today. I'll bring you some. You're going to love
He's
them.
making your thing today, too. You know that, right?
Doing what?
He's making your thing today.
What's my thing?
That fucking apple thing today.
Oh,
Diabetes in a pan.
perfect. Oh, yeah. The last time I loved that shit. I gained about 5 pounds just looking at it.
Diabetes in a pan is what I call
Yeah. She loves to cook that stuff up and she's not supposed to be eating it.
it. I don't know how you make it at 74 years old and have her diet.
Oh, it's easy. You just pour 5 pounds of sugar in a bowl and some seasoning.
No, yeah, but shit, she's old.
Yeah.
I mean,
And has sugar problems.
yeah, really.
But she eats the sweetest junk in the world. Like she liked the moonshine, apple pie moonshine idea over ice cream. Boy, her eyes lit right up.
I know they did too. You could just tell she was excited about that.
She's just like, oh, we got to go get some more and some ice cream.
Sounds like a great plan. Then that's probably why she's making this apple pie fritter thing for you today.
Got her excited about the sweet stuff.
So I might not even know what she bought at the liquor store yesterday when I was trying to.
Oh, yeah, there may be a little
We
special
read that
sign
car.
in there.
That whole 15 minutes, or at least 15 minutes, while we were sitting out front.
Yeah, we were about 15.
Then we went to Family Dollar and let it run the whole time, idle the whole time. Then we went to Winn-Dixie. I went to the liquor store. That was 10 minutes. It idled the whole time.
Was your favorite girl there?
I let her in the door too.
Ah.
Dallas, you know I love you. I told her too. I said, if you ever listen to our show,
I've told her that you had a thing that she was cute.
I
And
said,
she goes, I don't know who you're talking about. I said, you'll know him when you see him.
yeah. I said, we talk about it every now and then, but it's totally always respectful.
Oh, absolutely. She's a sweetheart.
Absolutely. And her hair just
When she lets her hair down, like not in a ponytail, that doubles her
I'm
pretty.
telling you. She had it in a bun one day, and I said, how did you even get all that up in there?
Yeah, she's got a lot of
You're
hair.
going to be amazed at how polite and proper I can be when she's there. Because I started talking shit to the bald guy, and then I didn't.
He's kind of weird. He likes that stupid English accent.
He's weird. He is weird. I didn't know he had an English accent, but
It's a fakey, but he does it.
oh, does he?
You know, he just like imitates.
Oh,
And he goes, that'll be 24 shillings. And it's,
oh,
it's
he
like,
never
like,
did that
dude.
shit to me.
he does it to my wife a lot.
No, he's flirting with her then,
Yeah. And
which
then
surprises me because I took him as a homer.
when I went in there and he did that with her, he didn't realize that I was standing like next in line kind of look, because I was holding a case of beer as always. And she had gotten her bottle of scotch and she goes, oh, my husband's beer on this too. And he looked at me like in surprise. And then he started talking that way to me. And then after like a while, every time I go in there, he'd start pulling that English accent on me because he's trying to cover up the fact that he was trying to flirt with my wife. Hey, you can flirt all you want. She'll still kick your ass.
I would go over to the Star Market. Remember I showed you that picture when I was in my Uncle Sam thing of that little bitty Indian lady?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go in there, and every time I'd open the door, I didn't care if there was 10 people in there or nobody. I'd open the door and say, honey, I'm home. And then she would go, hello, money man. That's what she called me, as money man, that little Indian accent. I said, okay.
I thought I was the only one to use that line.
Oh, no, I know. I always just did it, no matter, because I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in there one time and I said, honey, I'm home. And the guy we called Mike Pat, his name is probably Patel.
In India, Patel is an upper class name.
I'm sure it is because
they go by names. Like your last name is Patel. You
have the better hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's Cat Patel.
And if it's just then you got the
you got
rent by the hour.
Yes. Anyway, I said, honey, I'm home. He goes, she is not here. I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, okay. And then the guy that was sitting next to me goes, you probably shouldn't flirt with his wife. I said, then I wouldn't come in here. Half the fun is coming here and talking shit. That's
right. It's not like
they don't sell coffee
or out,
And Mike Pat goes, no, you flirt all you want to, money man. I'm like, so why does everybody call me money man?
Yeah, really. What do you always pay with $100 bills for?
I'll tell you what happened one time though. I did go up there and I handed him 10 silver dollars. And I said, I need 2 packs of cigarettes. And he goes, with 10 silver dollars? I said, well, on the face, that's what it's going to cost me. I'm going to come back and get that fucking change back. I said, you just hold on to it. He goes, okay, no problem. I understand. So then he's like, from then on, because I had those silver, I took 10 because it would have been $10 and 2 packs of cigarettes would have been about $10.
Right.
But at that point in time, silver was, I think, selling for something like $22 now. So yeah.
He was like, double your money, double your fun.
Here,
I'll throw you an extra pack. Thanks.
Yeah,
10 more tomorrow.
Yeah. But so anyway, that's why they called me Money Man. But she was so funny. Their daughter was a nurse that helped me in the hospital.
Oh, that's cool.
And nobody other than my wife came to visit me in my hospital except for him.
Really?
Yep. The guy that owned the store.
The guy that don't flirt with his wife.
Yeah, he didn't care. Yeah, he didn't. No, the other guy was like, don't flirt with that man's wife. He goes, fuck you.
Yeah, mind your business.
Yeah, he's like, Mike Pat got a problem with me. Mike Pat will talk to me about it.
That's right. What a goofy name.
Well,
probably Americanized for.
No, I think that most of the people call him Pat for Patel.
Oh.
And I think that a lot of people, and I think he probably told people his name was Mike, because his wife goes by Mary. And listen, that little Indian woman, you can't speak no name. But let me tell you something. You robbed that store,
you're going out in a body bag.
She is shooting you. I mean, Mike Pat is, I still call him Mike Pat.
Guess what the last name of the guy that owns the Hideaway?
Patel.
That's right.
Patel. He had it was just a Star Market. It was just a convenience store that sold beer. I went in there one day, and these very healthy looking Indian types, Egyptian types, are in there, and they're just destroying everything. And I walk in there and I buy my beer, and I'm looking at them.
You're thinking, do I need to step up?
And I said, I was scared to step up. So I'm not going to lie to you. There was no way. These guys, you could tell they looked like they played rugby or some shit. They would
kill you.
They were healthy, yeah. So I said, I'm just going to tell you now, I'm going to call the police when I leave here. So I've been coming here for 7 years. This ain't right. This ain't right.
Yeah, they're just near trash and shit.
I'm like, the daughter's not here. The son's not here. Mike Pat's not here. And Mary's not here. Something's not right. And they go, no, it's cool. It's not going to be a convenience store anymore. It's going to be a liquor store. And I'm like, oh, do tell. That saves me 3 miles. Do tell.
I'm liking it better already.
I went home and I called their emergency number. And he goes, no. He goes, that's our family. And they've decided that we're going to make it a liquor store now. And I'm like, okay, because I was worried. I don't,
Yeah, you're thinking the guys are wrecking the place.
Well, I'm
and actually they're just
thinking,
rearranging.
yeah, because these weren't friendly people. It's almost like the Indian mafia came up there because they were ripping shit out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll take your money for the beer." I'm like, "Okay."
It's like, okay.
And I'm like, and I'm gonna give it to you because I want the beer. I don't care.
I'd like to take leave of this situation.
Yeah, it was
soon.
crazy. He just now came back.
Oh, he's wandering.
Hell, I thought he was still at Tim's. But yeah, so that's that's my mic pad story. I got a couple of them. I'd go and get dryer vents for him. He'd say, I need to do these dryer vents because he owned the laundromat too.
Oh yeah.
And, in the same building as this. And I said, look, just let me go get these filters. He goes, I don't think they'll work. I said, okay. I went and got these, those cheap ass filters.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in there. I came to him. He goes, "He's probably saved me $35 a month on electric just because he uses those filters."
Right, holds the heat a little longer.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, people don't realize, if they say they have their washer and dryer out on the patio like here,
Uh-huh.
a lot of them will just let shit blow right out of the back of the vent. Well, your dryer's working harder because it's not retaining the heat near as much as if it had the restriction of the exhaust pipe.
Well, you look at it like you do the thing on your air conditioner in your car.
Right.
You've got the one that says recirculate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you use.
Right.
If you use the other one, then
you're just sucking hot air from outside,
and you're making your air conditioner work 3 times harder than it needs to.
Yeah.
So,
and just a compressor costs freaking $300 nowadays without labor and Freon.
And I think it's about time to rejuice my Freon again.
Oh my.
Oh, that's nothing. I got it in the car. I'm a professional at that.
He carries his tools just like on roadkill, man. They got a pile of shit in the back seat in the trunk and everything.
I got to
flying
clean
down
that
the
car
road.
because we got to go get tires. I got to clean that shit out today.
So how'd you get him to agree to put the tires on?
We went to a local guy. It was just easier and closer. And
Charlie buys his from Tires Plus or something up in Sebring, and he gets like 12 months free interest, and then he just pays it off when he wants to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
And there's 2 of them on 27. They're on the same side of the road, and they're about 2 or 3 buildings apart. And his wife went to get her tires rotated and balanced because he took her car and told her, and bought them.
Mm-hmm.
And he told her where to go to get them, do the mount, rebalance and rotate.
Yeah.
And she says, well, I'll get an oil change while I'm there. She went to the wrong place, and they still gave the tire balance and everything free because they thought she insisted that this is where my husband bought these. So they just, instead of arguing with her, just did it. He was surprised. He says, you went to the wrong goddamn place.
Well, what do you mean, Carson?
Oh.
The channel hasn't changed in 20 years. Perhaps you should subscribe to Obscure Destinations Outdoors. Then you don't have to look for it.
That's right. Makes it easy to get to our show. Makes it easy to see what he posted.
That's the 6th grader.
Oh, we haven't heard
We
from
figured
him
that you were in trouble for listening to a couple of grown-ups.
A couple of crazy grown-ups.
Probably. Seeing that incandescent coloring on those birds, dude?
Yeah, I was noticing that.
It's such a cool-looking bird for such a shitty, nasty bird.
Yeah, they are.
But if you catch them just right in the sunlight, they are so pretty.
Yeah, that one's got red.
Yeah, and it's like one of those indigo snakes. It's just it's an incandescent light. It's neat.
Yeah, because every time he moves, it changes color a little.
Yeah, it's the way that the light hits his feathers.
Like when he's tilted down getting something to eat, he's just blackbird.
Yeah.
When he stands up, he's got all different colors.
They're neat to look at.
Like, what the hell? At first, I didn't think that was blackbird.
But if you notice, all of our little birds are kind of gone now.
Yeah, small.
Spring's here. It just seems like they decided to go hang out somewhere else.
The eagles are up building their nest, and the one was staying with the nest quite a few hours yesterday. So maybe we're getting ready to do some Easter egg laying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the part of the nest that I thought crashed down and there was hardly any nest. I think it was actually built more on the other side of the
Oh.
tree that we don't see
Right.
because they didn't do anything with this side, yet they've been up there carrying stuff up. So I think the nest is getting built away from our view, not as
Yeah.
on our side of the tree.
Because they're very big nests. Well, it's like, look at that TV. We didn't think it was near that big.
Right.
And so you imagine when you go up there and look at that nest this close, it's probably,
Oh yeah, it's probably 4 foot around.
yeah.
You know, they're big birds. And
Yeah.
she was sitting up there just like stretching her wings and hanging out and moving and just like turning on the tree branch. Then went up on the tree a little higher and then come back down. Then flew around a little bit, came back and had some more sticks in her mouth. And I was like, they're actually moving back to the hood.
So that's all you're going to say, Carson? Hello, hello.
Now he's probably figuring out how to join. It just says subscribe and like.
Let's subscribe and like, homie.
He's got to be getting ready for school here pretty quick.
I don't know where he lives.
That's true. He might live God knows where.
I don't remember.
Without saying your actual address, Carson, just give
What
us
state
like
do you
a-
live in? Oh, yeah, he does. He told us that he
Dayton
lived in
County.
Tulsa, and he lives in Oklahoma, remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we talked about Oklahoma, and I think he said he lives near Tulsa or something, and I said, go to Lake Keystone for catfish.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we have 3 or 4 people that talk to us, so I confuse them,
Yeah.
and I never was able to read them to see who the hell they were. So now that we got a nice big screen, I can actually see.
Oh,
his
you can
name.
actually see what he said, can't you?
Yeah. Because before it was itty bitty little, looked like it was hieroglyphics to me. It's like for a guy that can't see, I'm like, how in the hell does he read that?
But see, I would go up there and look this way for the numbers, and I look over here, and I'd say, oh, someone said something. Now, if your wife actually said something to me, I would actually
You'd be able
to
to see the F-bomb real clear now.
She don't scare me.
Yeah, well, you're not a very smart man, or you're very brave, one or the other.
Yeah, chicks. See, he's pretty there.
Yeah.
It's just the way that the sun hits him.
Yeah, it's surprising how many colors will reflect it with the sun.
Yeah, because that's almost a teal. I mean, that's just pretty.
Yeah, that was like a totally different
And
bird.
then there's some parts that'll look purple. They're just neat birds.
I couldn't really tell you the exact color, but I can see the like blue type
Yeah.
color, like right there.
Yeah. They say that if you catch one and raise him, take a razor blade and split his tongue, he can talk just like a parrot.
Really?
Yep.
Without getting your finger bit off.
They're very smart. Have you ever watched any of them? They're very, very smart. People put
So the term bird brain isn't so accurate.
no, they're smarter than probably most people I know.
Including me.
They figure things out.
Oh yeah.
They crows are just amazing. I
Like
mean,
if you made it hard for them to get the feed,
they
they
would
would
get in
figure
there.
out how to open the top
Yeah.
and get down in it.
and what a lot of videos, they'll have the food in the middle of a tube, right?
Mhm.
And the bird will go and get a marble and drop it in that tube to knock that food down.
Huh.
And he keeps doing it to knock that food down until he can reach the food.
That is pretty
That is- yeah.
genius.
Yeah, because they know that it's all survival.
They're
They've learned.
using tools. Next
Well-
thing you know, they're going to take over the world.
They probably already have. We just don't know it yet.
Instead of the Planet of the Apes, it'd be Planet of the freaking blackbird.
Well, they were all dinosaurs. They say at one point.
Oh, remember that old movie, The Bird movie? It was called Birds.
Yeah, Albert Hitchcock.
That was all crows, wasn't it?
I thought it was seagulls, but it could have been crows.
I think it was. They called them ravens. in
Oh well, the
movie.
raven. Well, there's a difference.
Yeah, but they're basically a blackbird.
Yeah, ravens.
I don't differentiate the species. If you're a blackbird, you're a blackbird. If you're a blue jay, you're blue. There's probably 5 different kinds of blue jays. I couldn't tell you.
There are.
I'm sure.
We've been doing good. We've been doing the same thing we've always been doing. We just saw someone kidnap you or something, Carson. There are red-winged blackbirds. There are blackbirds. They're all grackles.
Oh yeah.
They're all grackles, but there's a bunch of different kind of blackbirds.
I thought I saw our eagle fly. Oh, might have been.
Might have been.
There he is.
Something big over there flying.
Yeah, that could have been him.
They
were yakking yesterday, weren't they?
Yeah, they were real loud yesterday. It's weird that we're not hearing anything today. See, this is one of those days that it's weird because it's really quiet.
Yeah, he hasn't even started his saw yet.
No.
I seen him moving around a little bit.
So we're going to ask you if you're going to ask us how we've been, and then we ask you how you've been, and you're supposed to say, well, I've been all right, Carson. Why aren't you in school, son?
Maybe they're having a national holiday of some sort, like Donut Day or something.
In Oklahoma, it would be Wish We Were Texas Day. In Oklahoma, the only holiday is I wish we lived in Texas. They hate Texas.
Oh, here's another tidbit. Remember the Parkland school shooting?
The FBI PSYOP? Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago already.
Yeah, it seems like longer than that.
Yeah, they wanted this whatever state that was in. They're having it like 10-15 a minute of silence throughout the state or something.
It was like 45 miles from here.
Oh, it wasn't Florida?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to it. I got a memory as long as my wang. Short and worthless.
Oh. You ready to seal this monkey so I can get my shit going?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, we got the big screen. That's the only reason I really wanted you to see the big screen was set up.
I like it.
And,
I like it a lot.
And we can have our own little.
Ron's got to get some tires for his truck.
I got to get some tires
so he doesn't die driving and riding along with his wife.
Yeah, so my wife doesn't get hurt because the one tire that's on is really bad, and the spare tire's got more cracks in it than I can't say because then I'd get in trouble. So anyway, thank y'all for hanging out. Me and Tim appreciate your kindness. We would appreciate you a lot more if you would talk every now and then.
Yeah, feel free.
Because this kind of gets tired of. We already know we live together. We don't live together, but we live right next door to each other. So we pretty much know what each other's going to say. So
happy Friday. And
happy Friday.
We'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.
Rock out.
And there's one thing I never want you to forget, especially if you're in Lake Placid.
This morning's show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, sun pounding on your head. Beer, take care of that. Beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again, beer for breakfast, that's what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it incentive when that morning comes. Beer for breakfast. Amen.